What's up guys, my name's Brandon and today Apple released the RC or release candidate build of iOS 17.3 for both registered developers and for public beta testers. Now along with this iOS release, we also got the RC or release candidate builds of iPadOS 17.3, watchOS 10.3, macOS Sonoma 14.3, tvOS and HomePodOS 17.3, and then for older devices, we got new RC builds for iOS and iPadOS 16.7.5 and 15.8.1, along with macOS builds 13.6.4 and 12.7.3. But of course, in this video, we are focusing on iOS 17.3 RC. So you can see here the size of this update came in at 6.39 gigabytes on my 15 Pro Max, which was coming from beta 3. It's always going to be a large size when going from a beta to a final release, which the RC is the final release for beta testers, or vice versa, going from a final to a beta. So anyways, let's go ahead and check out the build number for this new update. So if we head down to our settings, general, about, 17.3, the new build number is 21D50. And if we head down to check out the modem firmware, that is now 1.40.01. All right, so now what's new here in iOS 17.3 RC? Now keep in mind, I never cover every single new thing in the RC release because we are going to see the final release next week, which we'll talk about near the end of this video. So I want to focus on some of the things that are new in the RC version specifically. So the first thing you'll notice is my wallpaper. So we have a new wallpaper with 17.3 RC, and this was announced earlier this morning. So this is the new wallpaper. So if you go to your lock screen and tap on the plus, you will see that right here under featured, we have a new section for Unity Bloom. This is the new wallpaper with multiple different styles. So this is the default style right here with the red, the green, the yellow, and the black. And you can see this is the red version, the green version, multicolor, which is my personal favorite right there. And then we do also have an all black version. And you do get a pretty cool animation as well. When you unlock and go to the home screen, you can see how it kind of just comes up right there. So let's try that again. You can see the cool little animation. So that is new here in iOS 17.3 along with iPadOS 17.3. Now there is also a new watch face that has the same style as well. And if we head over to our Apple Watch running watchOS 10.3, the RC build, you can see it advertised right there up top. And if you tap on that and scroll down, you will see the new Unity Bloom watch face right here. If we go and tap on add, you can see the different styles that we get. So you have a single bloom or a full bloom, and then you have the different color choices here to choose from as well. And there are no complications for this watch face. So that is also new for the latest watchOS RC. And then Apple did also release a new watch band, or they're releasing a new watch band next week when 17.3 officially rolls out that has the same type of Unity Bloom theme. Now also new in iOS 17.3 is something that I mentioned in the first beta of 17.3 that could be coming, but we never really had any indication of that, and that is AirPlay in hotel rooms. So this is a feature that Apple announced originally at WWDC 2023, and they said that it was coming later this year, which was 2023, but we never saw it in 2023. But now in 2024 with 17.3, that feature has officially rolled out, or it will be rolling out next week when everybody gets 17.3. So this allows you to simply connect your iPhone to a hotel TV via a QR code, and that will enable you to AirPlay content to it. So YouTube, sharing your screen, mirroring your screen, any of that you will be able to do in a hotel TV in the near future. Now, LG is the first company to create a line of commercial TVs that are compatible with AirPlay for hotels, because we all know how hotels are super outdated and super old school. So it will likely take a while before every hotel room has an AirPlay compatible TV. But once they do, this is going to be a big deal, and it's going to pretty much kill off Chromecast, in my opinion. And also, if you were the type of person like me in the past where you would bring an HDMI cord to the hotel room just so you can watch, content or, mirror your screen to the TV, you'll never have to do that again now with this new feature that is available with 17.3. And then in the release notes, the only other thing new that we didn't know about beforehand was the crash detection optimizations, which I called that like middle of last year or beginning of last year, how pretty much every single iOS update in the future will have optimizations for crash detection. And it looks like that has come true. Pretty much every version has had optimizations for crash detection, which is a good thing. We need, less false triggers with that feature because it does save lives, but we've seen, in the past how like roller coasters and things like that would trigger it. So these optimizations should get rid of that using machine learning. Now, the other thing you'll notice in the release notes is that Apple did not remove the collaborative playlist feature. So if you guys remember, you might have PTSD from iOS 17.2 when Apple had collaborative playlists in the beta, but it didn't make it to the final release. Well, now, thankfully in 17.3, we're not going to have a repeat of that because Apple does have it in the release notes. And here in the RC, you will get collaborative playlist. Now, the first time you open up the music application, you will get this splash screen that says what's new in Apple Music, and it shows collaborate on playlists, invite friends, and everyone can add songs, react, and reorder the music. And then we also have emoji reactions. Leave a reaction on any track added to a collaborative playlist using emoji. And then if you go into the application and go to the playlist tab, you will not see anything new here, but if you go into a playlist, you will now see a new glyph icon up top, just like we saw in 17.2, where you have a little plus icon in the beta, I should say, not in the final release, but it's the same interface as we saw in the earlier betas. But this is where you can invite people to join the playlist. And of course you can add songs, you can react to songs, reorder them, and things like that. And if you want to see this in action, here is what a collaborative playlist looks like. You can tap on the people up there. The glyph icon has changed and it shows everybody in that playlist. And then right here we have reactions. So you can, react to music. So if you tap on that, you can change your reaction without actually having to go in and play the song and do anything from the now playing screen. So that's pretty cool. And then of course the headlining feature for iOS 17.3 will undoubtedly be the stolen device protection feature. And for good reason. This is a feature that I think everybody should have enabled right away. Like right once you download this update, you should go ahead and turn this on instantly because it is opt-in, it is not opt-out. So you do need to opt into this, and you can see it is right here. And if you want to turn that off and you're in an unrecognized location, it will start a security delay. We've already talked about this feature ad nauseum here on the channel, and I will talk about it a lot more in depth in my video next week. And I'm sure there will be some security patches that we do not learn about until next week as well. So just stay tuned for that. 17.3 is looking like a great update. So now let's move on to the performance and the battery life. So I am going to run a quick Geekbench 6 test just to see how this compares to beta 3. I will say that the build numbers have been fairly close this whole time throughout the beta stages, especially beta 3 and the RC. So I'm not expecting a major jump or a major decline here in the performance, at least in the terms of a Geekbench score, but let's see what we get. Alrighty, so we scored a 2940 on the single core and a 7303 on the multi-core. So we can see how that compares to beta 3. It's actually a good bit higher on the single core and also on the multi-core. So that is a good sign for the RC release. I honestly did not expect a big jump from that. You could see from the previous one, it's around the same though. So maybe not as dramatic as the last run. There could be, there's a lot of, variations, a lot of variables that go into these tests. So it is pretty similar across the board to previous 17.3 Geekbench runs. Now, as far as the battery life goes, I would not expect the battery life to improve much here in the RC build. And that's because the battery life on the beta 3, on 17.3 beta 3 has been great. I mean, I've really had no complaints in terms of battery life. So I would imagine that RC, it could potentially improve a little bit, but I would imagine it's going to be very similar to what we saw with beta 3. Now, if you did have any type of, battery drain issues, those could be resolved with the RC, but that I've not really heard of anybody having battery drain in 17.3, which is a good thing. Now, I've had a couple of people ask me if they should go ahead and install the RC build of 17.3, and these people were kind of scared off and kind of hesitant because of the major boot loop issue that happened with beta 2 of 17.3, and I would say that you are safe to install 17.3 RC if you are on the public beta program or if you are a registered developer, because again, this is a final release. It's just early for beta testers. So you don't really have anything to worry about in terms of boot loops or, losing data or anything crazy like that. That's probably honestly never going to happen again. But, for the time being, I think it is safe to go ahead and update to the RC, especially if you're still on 17.3 beta 1 or a previous version. Okay, so now let's talk about what to expect next from Apple. So next week, we will see iOS 17.3, the final release on the week of January 22nd, which is actually the date I predicted before the first beta of 17.3 even came out. So that was a pretty good prediction there, and I would expect to see that most likely on Monday the 22nd. However, the Apple Watch Band comes out on the 23rd, so we could also see 17.3 release on Tuesday the 23rd. It kind of just depends on what Apple decides to do. And then after iOS 17.3 gets released next week, we should see the first betas for 17.4 begin to roll out that same week or the next week at the very latest. And the 0.4 updates for iOS generally are pretty massive. I mean, usually the 0.2 and the 0.4 updates are the two major updates for the major iOS releases. So 16.4 is massive, 16.2 is massive, and for the 17 cycle, iOS 17.2 was massive, 17.3 is it's a few features but not massive, so I would expect 17.4 to also be a pretty massive update. We could even see new emoji in that 17.4 update, although that is unlikely to come in the first beta. So that is iOS 17.3, the RC or release candidate build. Not a lot has changed from beta 3. That's because we really only saw the addition of the Unity Bloom wallpapers and the watch face, along with the AirPlay in hotel room feature getting confirmed for coming to 17.3. So again, I will have the full what's new video on 17.3 where I show every single new feature and change next week. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you are subscribed with that bell icon clicked so you do get notified when that update goes live. But if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. Also be sure to subscribe for more iOS coverage. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.